started off by stacking all the scaffold boards that I bought into my shed with some spaces in between. But it was taking too long to dry, so I then brought them inside the house and used this fan and a heater combination. After about a week, the moisture levels were down to around about 10% on most of the boards, so I figured it's time to get started. First thing was to take off these edge bandings. Right, I've done the first 5 boards, and before I finish the 6th one, I thought I'd just share my process in a bit more detail because while I've been doing the others, I've noticed that I've been getting faster each time. Just as you would with any project, repetitive process, you get better over time. So I'm going to show you what I'm finding is the quickest way to get this off. So the temptation is to start levering from here first, which is what I did with the first few boards. And that works fine, but I found that if I start with this inner screw, if you can get the screwdriver in here first, it seems to come up a little bit easier. Right. So you want to squeeze your screwdriver in a little bit. And trying to lever it like this is better to twist it, because if you lever it like this, you're going to leave too much of a dent. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of denting here as well, but I don't mind a little bit. That should sand out. So I basically want to get the screwdriver head just below this nail. And you can see that nail is starting to loosen up now. And then push the metal back down, and then you can lever the nail up. Earlier on when I said that the screws were wrapped in wire, it wasn't actually wrapped in wire, they just seem to have these little pieces of wire just around the head, which is strange. And then you can easily get that one out with a claw hammer. Now for the second nail, you've now got a lot of slack here, so you can easily get your screwdriver in sort of a bit more in line with the metal, and you can lever it from a little bit further away, and that lifts the screw in just enough, and then push the metal back down and knock that one out. For the rest of the edging, obviously wear gloves because this stuff's sharp. Just want to pull it downwards. Fold it back into place while you flip it over. And then now, because this part of the metal strip is loose, it gives you access to this nail a lot easier. So you can actually just go in from here now. Slight little wiggle, and that nail is now loose. And again, peel it back a bit further, and now you've got access here. Very slight wiggle, that's all it takes. Put it back down, use a screwdriver to pop that up, and then back to the hammer to finish it off. So there you can see, a lot quicker. When I was starting at this edge, the whole process was taking me about 3 to 4 minutes. This one's taken about a minute or so, but yeah, a lot easier, a lot less wear and tear on this edge because I'm not going in from this angle all the time. For these two nails, I'm actually coming in with the screwdriver parallel to the nail rather than perpendicular to it. So yeah, just a little additional tip for taking off this edge banding. And this is all the scrap that we're left over with. Most of these nails are still in pretty good condition, so I'll probably hold on to these for a future project. I'm sure they'll come in handy for something, but obviously that's all going in the bin. Next, I measured up the boards to the desired length, and then using my circular saw and an edge guide, I cut those to length. Then use my belt sander to take off all the roughness. And follow this up with my orbital sander on various grits to bring it down to a nice smooth finish. So I just finished up doing loads and loads of sanding. I had to spread it over a couple of days just because it just took a lot longer than I thought. Scaffold boards are pretty rough when you get them from the timber yard. In the meantime, I tested out some of this Bryowax Tudor oak on a piece of scrap. So that's pretty much what the original wood is looking like. And then after applying the stain, we're kind of on this colour, which is quite nice. This is still a rough piece of wood, so that's why we get some of this dark banding on there. But I've sanded down the shelves pretty much silky smooth, so it should come out a lot nicer. I like the way the face grain has come out, and this scrap's got a couple of nail holes in it, which I think look nice and look quite rustic. The end grains come out a little bit dark, but that's because it's not fully smooth, and shouldn't be too much of a problem because we won't actually be seeing the end grain much because it's going to be close to a wall. So now I'm just going to do a tiny bit more sanding by hand just to get rid of the rough corners on the shelves. Then I'm going to apply this Bryowax onto the shelves and hopefully they'll look really nice. I then applied the Bryowax stain with a cloth on all sides in a circular motion and then rub it into the grain. I then used some fine steel wool to take off the excess wax. And finally buffed it to a polish with a fresh piece of cloth. And here is what a finished shelf looks like compared to an unfinished shelf. I then screwed these onto the wall using some angled industrial looking brackets. If you like this project, do check out my other videos, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified of future videos.